world has changed much since that last visit. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
We should have showed Premier Moe's face a little longer, because he's just like, what did I just hear? Did he just say that? But even if you watch it a couple times, if you haven't already, I encourage you to do so. Prime Minister Carney, he slows his speech down to say, like, he does not want to stutter. He knew exactly what he was saying. It was so calculated. It was like an evil villain. Once again, the conspiracy theorists are just conspiracy realists. I don't know what is going on here. Neither does Premier Moe. He's like, it's just, I can't get over it, but we knew it was coming.
You know, your statement, Drea, about being villainous, I mean, it was almost as though Carney was channeling his inner Darth Vader. The way he enunciated, you know, the pause and lowering his tone. And of all three words that so many people, I think, in our circle don't want to hear, it's the New World Order. And translation, maybe if it's good for Brookfield, it's good for Canada, even if it isn't good for Canada. Is that what he's implying here, or is it something even more sinister?
Well, that's the thing. What is he implying here? He's saying this to China. I believe during the election, when he was asked something about the biggest threat, he claimed it was China, right? So he's telling China our partnership is so good to usher in the New World Order. And you're right. He knows that that phrase holds a lot of weight, and he is intentionally choosing it. So on the one hand, it's like, what did you mean by it? But no, even if we get a chance to ask him, which we should try to do, he knows what that phrase carries, and he's saying it. So it's playing with everything. But I wouldn't be surprised. There are some people who are like, this is ridiculous. When they hear it, it's going to trigger something in them. Then there's other people, like, I wouldn't be surprised if some elbows up people are now going to be running around saying the New World Order. Yes, this is what we need to take down Trump. We need the New World Order. Yay, China, because somehow you're more reliable. And I just want to say we shouldn't be too surprised that Mark Carney said this, because we have a little clip that I caught during one of the local campaigns out here, which is now elected Ernie Claassen, who was elected in the 2025 election for the Liberals. And let's play what he said. It's really short. This is what he said during one of his campaign moments.
We have an amazing leader in Mark Carney, who is showing or leading the way on the world stage as far as looking at how to challenge Donald Trump and to create a new world order, which in Canada doesn't mean that we're only being involved with the United States.
Wow. Birds of a feather, eh, Drea?
Well, yeah, that's his guy. That's his MP. And so he already knew. He's like, it's already there. Yeah.
Speaking of Donald Trump, some of the details of the trade deal, and the reason why Scott Moe was there, of course, was the debilitating tariff on canola oil. I think that's about a $4 billion export from Canada. And the tariffs came down from 84% to something like 15 or 16%. And also tariffs came off of seafood, crab, lobster, so that's good for Atlantic Canada. But in the Department of Quid Pro Quo, what's in it for China? Well, Chinese EVs are coming to Canada, EV cars, that is. It'll be capped at 49,000, but over the course of 5 years, the quota will go up to 70,000. Here's the problem. If you think Scott Moe is upset, can you imagine, I don't have to imagine, I've seen Doug Ford on the news reacting terribly to this announcement. Came out of the blue, no consultation. This is undermining the domestic auto industry, most of it located in the province of Ontario, of course. This is undermining all the billions of dollars of federal and provincial money going into EV battery plants. And now you're having these, and to make matters worse, Drea, I understand it, I think it's 50% of the Chinese EVs have to be cheap EVs. So in other words, 35,000 or less. personally speaking, I wouldn't buy an EV from China based on ethical and moral concerns, even if I was getting a huge discount. But more to the point, in addition to undermining the auto industry here and the EV strategy, whether you agree with it or not in terms of the taxpayer funds, Donald Trump has yet to weigh in on this. And when he does, Drea, it ain't going to be good. The idea of Chinese EVs coming into Canada. And by the way, Doug Ford said something interesting. I'd like to check it out to see if it's true. If you're going to buy one of these Chinese EVs, good luck crossing the border because, as he called it, these are spy cars. And as soon as a Chinese EV is flagged, have fun making a U-turn. You're not getting into the USA. So how do you think Donald Trump is going to react to this announcement, Drea?
Well, listen, I do think as far as from our position in Canada, how Donald Trump, President Donald Trump is going to act is unpredictable. I think that's an issue that we're facing. I don't think we're making it very easy for ourselves somehow, like when we tell China that, hey, this is great to usher in the New World Order. I don't think he's going to like that very much. But yeah, you're right. There is a trade-off here. I'm happy that it's going to be better for the farmers in some way. But it's interesting. What stands out to me is the fact that there's this whole big bad orange man mission with Canadians, but China had these tariffs as well. Like China was already tariffing us in the wazoo in these areas. And it just seems like they're getting a pass. And again, all of a sudden we're going to China. But how is China any more reliable or predictable than the US? This is an issue that I'm having troubles grasping. I see that the Auto Association has made a statement saying to the Prime Minister, to Canada, can you kind of hold off because the US is still technically in negotiations, I guess, with this a little bit, including with Mexico. So can we hold off and see what's going to happen there? But I'm not holding my breath. I do think Canada, I guess, has to, make some moves to try to do something, considering it hasn't been going well.
Well,
and
I don't
a lot
see.
of that's due to his leadership, to Carney's leadership.
Well, I'm very happy for Scott Moe in the province of Saskatchewan, but I don't see this as a winner. And not only the Auto Association, Drea, but Unifor, which is the union that represents unionized auto workers in Canada, they blasted this as well, and with good reason. And by the way, folks, in case you think that Premier Ford might be exaggerating calling these things spy cars, let's throw to a clip when reporters asked a question to Melanie Joly. Basically, it's how come the Canadian journalists left their actual cell phones at home? Just while you see this one.
We're using burner phones for the first time when we covered this because China spies on journalists and businessmen. China intercepts communications. Is China really the right kind of partner for Canadian industry?
Listen, we've been clear-eyed. We're eyes wide open. We know this. But there's been investments by Canadian companies for years here. Tomorrow I'm meeting with Magna. Magna, one of the biggest auto parts companies in the world. They have 30,000 people working here. We're meeting with Manulife. We're meeting with BMO. These companies have been in China for years. Now, obviously, we're having these conversations with the Chinese government. If they're going to invest in our country, they need to make sure that our companies are able to invest and have access to stability and have access to a form of certainty. And so that's what we're working on. When we engage with China and we engage with businesses like Tim and I have been doing, we put everything on the table to address these risks. And that's why this visit is so important. And it's been a focus of the Prime Minister.
Well, Drea, yet again, a Liberal cabinet minister that, shockers, knocked me down with a feather, didn't answer the question directly. But I'm sure if China says, pinky swear we won't spy on you with any of our devices, I guess that's as good as gold because, they're such good guys. I mean, we have, I always thought we had a problem with China. They had Chinese police stations operating in our dominion. This is the same nation that incarcerated for more than 1,000 days. Imagine that, the two Michaels. And suddenly this is our most favored nation to strike a trade deal with. But by the way, the reason why, let's be honest here, you can have EVs shipped from China and sell in Canada for under $35,000. It's not a level playing field. If you look at what China pays their workers, assuming they are paying in some cases, and what we pay, it's apples and oranges. And I just think this is an absolutely horrible deal. And I think it's poking the bear, Donald Trump. I don't have any evidence. Maybe it entails some research, Drea, but somewhere I just got this spidey sense feeling that Brookfield has its claws into this deal somehow, that their, Brookfield assets are getting enriched.